Alright, everything looks to be in order. Nothing is broken just yet. Alright, chat overlay should be working. Alright, I'll probably just play as Fish a bunch. Just because he's the most fun. So, I've been playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and it's not as good as it should be. There's like dozens of reasons why, and many smarter people than me can tell you every single one of them. But I just like to talk about the ones that I don't like. So, first of all, character creation kinda sucks. Like, everything is based on just your starting, like, stat allocation and your starting class. You've got a little bit of leeway on which subclass you choose. Oh, hey Spacer. Do you have any experience with 5th edition? There's a few things that I wish were better. Everyone loves talking shit about it for good reasons. Hello, Sargener. But yeah, like, honestly, there's a really bad feeling when you make your character and it just sucks. Then you've got like a poor build for like, oh man, if you're doing like a real campaign, just like for months. Yeah, it is very restricting. It's honestly it's pretty okay if you just look up like min-maxing character guide and then just play the rest of the game. But even then, I don't know. The skill list is also something that's kind of weird. Like, you have to know what skills you want from the start. You get a couple more depending on what subclass or class you take. But even then, like, your whole character's identity is built around the very start. Yeah. Well, I like min-maxing because it lets me goof around and do weird bullshit without having to worry about how good I am with the optimizing it. Yeah. Turns class-based into class cringe. But yeah, no, they like, I should try out some older stuff. I don't know how good the whole 5th edition and Pathfinder are for. Oops. I'll do some melting. But yeah. Hey, Karis. Yeah, so like Pathfinder and 3.5, I don't know how good those are for like customization, like switching builds midway, because it's really not good for like a campaign format. Yeah, well, Dungeons and Dragons, there's no set difficulty. If you're min-maxing with like a bard, you'll have a pretty fun spell list. Oh yeah. Eh. Other people have done the math on the min-maxing, so it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah. There's not that many, like, real different builds you can do. Okay, good. So yeah, like even tanks are really hard to do. No, not the math spreadsheet. The I don't know, just look up Dungeons and Dragons like Barbarian Guide. Like, okay. which subclasses are good, and which ones are okay, and which ones are just bad. Yeah, no, you get stuff like there's also some other suboptimal things, like if you're like a paladin or a cleric, you don't want the religion skill because you'll never be good at it, because the intelligence doesn't matter for it. Same with nature for like druids. It's a little goofy. But yeah, no. I guess casters have a lot of customization to go through, because every level about you get to swap up some more points. Oh man. Well, yeah. Also, I feel like the DM guide and the monster manual give bad advice as well. Like encounters and the fucking HP bloat. But yeah, no, I have heard, and I haven't gotten to experience it because I've been on the receiving end of the D&D, but yeah, just having more smaller encounters makes the game work a lot better. Yeah, strong spirit, no doubt. But yeah, just having like, if you go by the recommended and exactly that, you'll end up with a very, very weird experience. Because it's just like, oh, fuck. Also, if you're like a new DM and you're just going by the rules and you're just saying like, oh, okay, this is what the challenge rating should be, so this is what I'll make every encounter. You'll end up with players, like, everything just feels the same. Like, you don't really get that much stronger as you level up, because everything gets a lot stronger as well. So you're just like a paladin or something, like doing like 10d8 with your like smite, but it's a bit more than what you should be doing, but it doesn't feel that much like it. Just the idea of like, plus you can definitely punch over your weight for like a couple encounters, for like one encounter a day. But then it also, I don't think the DM guide gives very good advice for how to handle the infinite long rest problem, because it's like the easiest way to make D&D easy is to just try to squeeze a long rest out of every opportunity. And then it becomes like a weird cycle of just trying to make the game easier for you, while the DM tries to make it harder because he sees that like no one's like having that much trouble. So then every encounter gets tuned up even more. Yeah, there is a 24-hour like limit on long rests, so you just find a way to waste time for 24 hours, well, 16 hours minus however long you spent in the one combat. Yeah, I really want to try to get my group to try to play like older stuff, like I guess OSR kind of stuff. I do like the idea of the classes being a lot less, just a lot less, I guess is the right term. You know, just like you're just a fighter. Everything else about your character is whatever you do. I just feel like characters are way too defined by the the class, and especially because you can't really change out of your build. It's very much defined by the starting class. Like even multi-classing doesn't do that much. Like, it's really just optimal in a couple situations and funny in some others. Yeah. It just feels like, I don't know, like a bad video game. The only really good thing that I can say about it is that, like, people know about it a lot. It's very easy to start to pick up and play after looking at a bunch of resources online. But even then, it's not the easiest system, it's just the easiest to find a good tutorial for, pretty much. But yeah, also the problem of spellcasters versus marshals is not fun. Because, like, imagine you're playing as a barbarian. Yeah. Gatekeep your hobbies and all that. Nah, I don't think that is the problem. I think they just made a poor game. But now, like, if you're playing a barbarian, or like, even worse, just like a champion fighter, you don't get much of a difference between your levels. Like, you start getting multiple attacks, stronger attacks, and stuff like that. But you never really get that many more options. Like, some of the stuff is neat. Like, I started playing like a Path of the Beast Barbarian. It's got some neat ideas. Like, you get to choose a different weapon when you enter your rage, basically. Damn. And eventually you do get you get like an extra ability that you can change, like, whenever you take a short rest. Which, like, the best option is just, like, climbing on walls without making an ability check. Like, you can just walk on the ceiling like The Grudge or something, or The Exorcist. Like, just without making a check. But yeah, and then if you're playing as like a caster, you get to choose like a new spell every level, swap them out. Bard is just so nice to play, because you get to be the ultimate support character, and you get all the skill proficiencies. Man, just Wall of Force. Just like, it's really fun. But yeah, nah. I guess there's also the community. I don't know. I don't know how much the community has affected anything in the D&D. Well, yeah, everything that people have to complain about has generally happened after the release of 5th edition. Like, I don't think Critical Role ruined it before it released. Or maybe they did. I never paid attention. People like to complain about stuff they don't like. And I don't know how good Critical Role is. Yeah, scare your face. But yeah, no, just like, it's something. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. I've heard good things about some of the parts and then bad things about some of the parts. I've heard about Glass Cannon, and I've heard less people complaining about Glass Cannon, so it might be good. Yeah, it's like an Undertale situation as well, where like the fan base is like rabid enough to just turn anyone off of it with like a flick of the wrist. Yeah. Oh yeah. All fandoms. Well, yeah, because it's just like the weird people just like glue together, and then you get this lump of weirdos that like do what they do and they love it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, there's... Man, fucking Homestuck. That's something. I think, honestly, I think the popularity of that actually kind of ruined the story. Listen, okay, I'm gonna say something that might be a little weird, but Homestuck was pretty okay. In fact, it was pretty good. There's like a point where it jumps the shark though, where like basically the third revealed like big bad crazy villain is like basically turns out to be like an allegory for like, or not an allegory, like a metaphor for like internet trolls, and I don't. It's, I don't know. I like time travel stories. I like complicated time travel plots a lot. And then it, no, dude, with the fucking the ancestors, it really fucking dream bubbles. I don't know. Yeah, it's something. Oh, but I can recommend. Right before that was Problem Sleuth, which is like, I guess a similar idea, but it actually ends in a reasonable amount of time. It's so good. It's worth it's worth the read, and it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, like putting the Snoop Dogg Buster, the 3D Sudoku cube, all that good stuff. Man, what an adventure. Oh man. Yeah, Homestuck's got a lot of that too. At least in the early parts. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. But honestly, Homestuck is kind of worth like reading through until you say to yourself just like, okay, this kind of sucks now, and then you can drop it and you'll feel good. I haven't even finished it, and I don't feel like I want to. But anyways, Homestuck is responsible for 5th edition being bad. Not really, but it might be. Who knows? But yeah. I do really need to try out some other systems. The OSR threads or something. I've got a copy of like Basic Edition or whatever, like D&D, that I just like found at a bookstore, and it's something. I've heard there's some pretty good rewrites of the basic rules. Savage Worlds. I've heard of Savage Worlds, but I don't know much. All I know is that you play GURPS for everything or something. That I do need to check out Savage Worlds. It's got like just a bunch of modules, right? Yeah. Homebrew everything. Oh yeah, there was a... I don't remember what it's called. It's something a little close to Darkest Dungeon, like Darker Dungeon and Dragons or something. But it's like a little set of homebrew rules for 5th edition. This is just like, hey, some of these might make it better for you to play. And I think most of them are pretty good. Oh yeah, there's stuff like using intelligence for your initiative modifier, so it's not just a dump stat for absolutely everyone other than wizards. And weird half-caster classes. Also having, like, warlocks use intelligence instead of charisma. Ah, fuck. That's another problem I have with... I don't think it's just 5th edition. I think it just might be RPGs in general. Tabletop RPGs is the idea of persuasion rolls. Like, if you've got like a poor DM, like someone that's kind of new, and they think, oh, you're talking to this guy. Make a persuasion check to see if he can tell if he can tell you where the bathroom is. And you're like, oh, you rolled a 1. He tells you to leave, and it's like not necessary. But then you get in situations where you get like a party face. It's kind of annoying to just have one player basically be the designated, okay, don't let anyone else talk unless they have to make a persuasion check. Okay, good, that's not a mimic. But yeah, I guess a lot of it can be fixed with good DMing. Oh yeah. Honestly, I should try or at least read through 4E, just cause I do like the idea of the more like video game combat. You know, being able to do like cooler stuff, but I don't know if it's good for like doing encounters. Like I don't know how balanced the combat is. I've heard some good things about 4th edition, as opposed to all of the bad things. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard that it's a very good board game, and an okay Dungeons and Dragon game. Yeah, back muscle. Yeah. Oh, gotta turn my brain on for a second here. There we go. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there. I don't. Oh, here's an obscure pull. Fucking Hackmaster. That's something you won't hear about every day. I remember hearing about like the original story of Hackmaster just being like, because like they, I don't know, this is from some comic. Like it was like the fictional board game, like Dungeons and Dragons stand-in. I haven't seen anything from Cyberpunk really. But or maybe you're talking about the tabletop. Fuck, I don't know. But no, it was like some fictional Dungeons and Dragons, and then like, I guess Wizards of the Coast. Oh, maybe it was TSR. I don't know what it was back in then. But there was like some lawsuit about like copyright infringement, and they ended up settling it out of court. Of just like, okay, we'll let you make your own little like D&D kind of thing. And they made Hackmaster as like a continuation. This was during like 3rd edition, and it's like a continuation of like 2nd edition, basically. Oh yeah, they called it Hackmaster, like 4th edition or something. Something weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's now that that ran out. Oh yeah, it was able to use you're able to just like port over. Actually, I don't think you even had to port stuff over. You just you could just slap in stuff from 2nd edition, and it worked. Like all the numbers added up. But yeah, they've got like Hackmaster 5th edition, which is it's kind of weird. If you like spreadsheets, you might like it. Oh yeah, the one like the most interesting part about it though is that combat runs in seconds instead of rounds. Like certain actions will take a number of seconds, and you just like you keep track with like a dice or something in the middle of the table. But yeah, I don't know how well that plays. Yeah, it sounds like something that either goes pretty well or very, very slow. Like it's either you've got like a good group and you're all used to the system and it just smoothly like goes from one round to the next, or everyone's just like very confused. Okay. Well, yeah, instead of it being like 6-second turns with like initiative rolls, it's like whatever initiative modifier would put like that's how many seconds after you start. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how well did it play well? Like no one had a bad time, right? Oh shit. Huh. Good enough is more than I expected. Well, actually, I guess I was expecting either bad enough or good. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I've read like quite a bit of. Well, not. I'm sure more people have read a lot more than me, but I've read quite a bit of like RPG advice, and I hope someday when I have the time to make my own campaign, I'll be able to make it pretty well. But yeah, like, hope I could do a good plot. I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather do something like a hex crawl. I don't know if that's like a meme for the kids these days, but yeah, running a hex crawl looks kind of fun. Like just like a not like a crazy like JRPG storyline, but just like, okay, you guys want money, dungeons have money, and just like go around and get all the cool stuff. And just like, as long as I can devote more brain power to thinking about how stuff would work and less about like what do I name these characters, I think it would be pretty good. Oh, I forgot to open up the pizza sewers. But yeah, now, yeah, DMing is hard. I've only done it a couple of times, all very... I think I was drunk one of the times. Not enough. But yeah. I need to get better at a lot of things. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah. So, back to 5th edition being bad. Oh yeah. Here's a really good thing that's a really good thing to complain about. Is that the monster manual, it's got like a hard set of rules for how it generates challenge rating. Like you can make a monster, plug it in, and you can find out what challenge rating it should be according to the book. But it doesn't tell you. I don't remember the exact like mathematics behind it. But yeah, there's like a definite like formula for the challenge rating that they use. Like everything is very consistent in the monster manual with it, but they just don't tell you it. Like it's not in any official anything. Like I guess they just, maybe it's like trying to sell strategy guides back in the day. They're just trying to sell more monster manuals. Like, how are you gonna run Curse of Strahd if you don't know how strong Strahd is? Go and buy it. Yeah, I've heard good things about Curse of Strahd. I hope it's good. taking too much damage. But yeah, yeah, I said it before and I'll say it again. The monster manual is kind of sucks, and it gives you the really bad advice of just like, okay, here's how challenge rating works. You should have this many encounters of this level each day, and it just kind of sucks. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, like I very much do like the idea of, oh man, oh, here's something I hate about 5th edition. Running away from... There's no good rules for running away from, like, combat. Like, it's always a fight to the death. You need some good, like, house rules for running away. Otherwise, like... Yeah, it's not fun. But yeah, no, like, you can't have, any good, like, combat. Yeah, it's always fast. You can't have anything that's, like, scary, because you have to have everything. The players have to be able to beat an encounter, otherwise they just die. So you can't have anything that, like, would actually be too interesting. Yeah, fuck. Also, I hate the idea of spell casting enemies. Yeah, but... Yeah... It sucks. You really gotta work a lot harder than what the game gives you. I hate spellcaster like enemies, because they've got like maybe not like a full spell list, but pretty close. Just like a huge lump of spells to cast, and then as a player, as a spellcaster, you've got that many spells about, but you have to make that last through however many encounters you'll deal with through the day. It's really bad once you get counter spells involved. That's just like that's like war. Because then you've got enemies just like counter spelling everything, and then that's something you need to talk with you about, like with your DM, because that's just not fun. Because then you're like trying to think tactically about, when do I want to cast these spells? How many do I need to get through the day? You know, resource management, what the board game is supposed to be about. But then you get hit with like a bunch of counter spells. You can play around it a little bit, but it's difficult. And even then, some spells just suck. So, if you don't build your character well enough, or at least your spell list, and your DM is a little bit mean, then you can just end up with like a really bad time. Yeah, just having like 5 enemy spellcasters like throughout the day versus your party's like 2 spellcasters. It's a bit of something. I guess if you plan with your group well enough on how you want to deal with spellcasters, you might be able to get it done. But even then, there's not too much that works very well. But yeah, honestly, having a better like retreat mechanic would be great, because then you could actually have stuff work. Like, yeah, I mean, like, marshals get no options for what to do. Like, yeah, champion fighter. Nothing on your character sheet really matters other than the damage that you do and how many attacks. Well, I don't know if that's the right way to put it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you've got no real options other than attack for the turn. Maybe you can pick up something that uses your bonus action. Yeah, people complain about, like, oh, these abilities are just making marshals into spellcasters. But yeah, yeah. That I've heard that as like as one of the good things about fourth edition is that you get like they decided on hit points being like not just physical health. So you can have like people inspire you to heal you. All that cool stuff. Whoops. Almost spilt. But yeah, just being able to have like more class options, I guess. Like archetype options, I mean. Like tank, DPS kind of stuff. Yeah, no, marshals are just like I guess the best thing you can do is like pick up a feat that will make your make something easier for you. I don't know. Give you like one other thing to do. Yeah, this well, Battlemaster Fighter has got some stuff. You basically have like a Warlock spell list, but none of the Warlock spells. Man. Warlocks kind of suck. Oh yeah, having stuff tied to short rest and some stuff tied to long rest is very weird. Huh. Well, I'm trying to wrap my brain around that sentence. So just like if D&D said, oh, okay, like 5th edition in the rulebook, it said playing a martial character is kind of lame. Just play a wizard, and you'll have a better time than if you didn't. I know that some of the a lot of the feats kind of suck. There's like a few that are very good. It's like worth playing a variant human. But then some of them are just like just nonsense. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, isn't it Ars Magica or something like that where you get like everyone's a wizard? Yeah, on it. Ooh. Something that I do like, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. You're basically encouraged to. You don't have to, like, if you're playing like a berserker or something. But other than just that one class, you want to like pick up spells. Like there's some good options. Just like everyone turns into like a bit of an everything. Not exactly, but I don't know how to say what I'm thinking exactly. Yeah, where it's like, yeah, spells are good. You can get them. It's probably worth it to pick up a few. Yeah, I'll take impact wrists. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just like the yeah, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup's got some good customization too, I guess. Of just being able to like change your build a little bit midway through, but not entirely. Yeah. Yeah. They tried hard to make some of the subclasses good enough. Honestly, I really like the idea of a game where it's just Joe, Jim, and Bob, the swordsmen, rather than like crazy spellcasters. Like that's something that sounds very fun. Like, oh man, here's a Here's some required reading. The All Guardsmen Party. That's a really good story. Yeah, dude, look up if you have not already. The All Guardsmen Party. That's pretty good. I haven't checked up on it in a while. But yeah, that's something that I like a lot. Like I've read through it like 2 or 3 times. Man, fucking Tyranid Delivery Experts is like top notch. But yeah, it's just like a Dark Heresy campaign, like retelling, I guess, where everyone is a guardsman in like the Inquisition. It's been described as Pratchett-esque humor, or it's just like it's a lot like Night Watch and stuff, like Discworld kind of stuff, I guess. But one of the players even named like their character, yeah, Nubby Nubs after Nobby Knobs from Discworld. So it's not like it's not very coy about it. It's honestly a fantastic story, better than Homestuck. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the idea of just doing what you can. Like, I don't like the idea of your entire like set of options just being what you have on your character sheet. I guess that's just like up to the DM, like how good is your DM, but I do like the idea of you have a problem, so you have to use like a creative solution. Oh man, there's a really bad DM fallacy that I haven't experienced, thankfully. I don't think, but like the idea that there's like one solution to this problem that I made. If you don't find that solution, then try again. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Shit, oh shit. Nice. Yeah, no, like I very much do like the idea of building D&D stuff kind of like a board game, but being able to run it like whatever you want. So honestly, you could just like port over an Oblivion dungeon into whatever system, but then just let the players do whatever to like solve everything. You know, like, oh, there's a ledge that you can't get over until you go through the rest of the dungeon. Like, okay, I'll use my rope. Yeah. Man, 5th edition kind of breaks that kind of stuff too. Yeah, instead of like puzzles, you have obstacles. But yeah, now 5th edition has like just like giving flying to players very easily. Like if you just choose this one race. Just stuff like that is kind of something. Yeah. Yeah, building an encounter of just like, okay, players will go here and do this. Oh man. That's not anywhere near as good as just like, here's like a troll camp in the way. I don't know what you want to do with them. Oh, even worse. Okay, from point A to point B, there's a troll camp. Okay, roll initiative. The trolls see you. Just like, I really like the idea of random encounters being encounters and not just like, yeah. Just the idea of, oh man, this is like something. I'm sorry, Mr. DM. I need to talk to you afterwards. You're not listening, but you should. That's okay. Okay, random encounter, like storm giant or something. Like, oh, there's a storm giant in front of you. He like throws a boulder at you or whatever. Okay, how far away is it? Like 150 feet. He's like, wait, what? How tall is a storm giant? It's like huge. When did it get there? Yeah, I don't. I really. I do like rolling encounters on a table, but just stuff like a dragon. You can have like, okay, there's a dragon, roll initiative, but you can definitely do a lot better with there's a dragon flying overhead. You can see the shadow on the ground. And there's a forest. Can you guys get to it fast enough? What do you want to do? I don't know. Just I'll take extra feet because it's funny. I'm sure someone would enjoy that. Fuck. But anyways, yeah, just like, yeah, one of the, so like the two main like RPG article, well, tabletop RPG article stuff that I've read is like Angry GM and the Alexandrian. I'll put some time in on my breaks at work. But yeah, yeah, that's good. I skipped that. But yeah, just like the idea of a combat encounter is very, very poor form. Like, saying you want like a spider combat encounter is like the thing that you don't want. You want like, oh, there's spiders in the way. How are you gonna get around them? Do you like, do you want to fight them? And then like, what are they doing there? Like, will they go away if you walk away? Or like, I don't know, maybe you could like burn down the webs. See if they'll just move somewhere else to try to nest. But yeah, no, just building it like a video game sequence. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Just building the whole thing. Just like, okay, here's what. Yeah, railroading is the term. But like, just building like your neat little video game encounters, and having like your Pokemon random battle table does feel a little bad sometimes. Well, most of the time. Honestly, the worst thing that can happen is when you try to do like a really good solution to it. Like, oh man, I can't even think of one for any like generic combat encounter. I guess like trying to feed your rations to a bear or something to get it to go away. Yeah. Video games are video games. Oh. Nice. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, like, the worst thing that could happen is the DM like trying to get it back on the rails. Like that just feels extremely bad. Like if it's like the bear looks at the food, and then it looks at you and growls very angrily. Well, I guess that would be kind of interesting if it was like a mother bear trying to protect its cubs, or like you just like got in the territory. Now I'm getting my D&D brain juices flowing. Man. Yeah, I really need to start writing some stuff or something. Oh man, I don't like those guys. Okay, good. But yeah, just like, nice. I can open up the sewers. Just even drawing some dungeon maps. Like, oh man, not making like a dungeon, or like Zelda. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can't have, like, stuff just be like... I'd look at the bear and say, "Bear, you're my friend now." Like, that's obviously a poor solution. Although maybe if you had, like, speak with animals, then yeah. Like, I've never encountered the problems. Oh, yeah. Oh, what do you mean by that? Like... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the infamous "you can try." That's like the line you don't want to hear as a player. But yeah, no, that's definitely necessary because you're not physically there. Or you might be, and that would be kind of scary. But no, you're usually not physically there in D&D. So you have to ask questions like, can I climb over this fence? Or is it too big? Yeah. You gotta make sure you give your as long as you don't give your players like okay, don't worry, none of the doors are booby trapped. Like, as long as you're giving them like general advice, like, okay, you can break down the doors if you want. Like, I don't know. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Man, I really need to flex my DM muscles eventually. I'm not even flex them, work them out. Oh wait, shit. This is what I wanted. But yeah. Yeah, I'll just take Bolt Marrow. Oh man. Now I'm getting my brain interrupted by video games. Oh yeah, this area has excellent music. I think I've got it turned down a little bit too low. But yeah. The YV rap is great. Yeah, basically. I was afraid to use that word, but I didn't want to scare anyone away. Although I think analytics means that if I put Zatsudan in the title, I would have gotten like 10 more viewers. Not really, but nah. I just think this is a good game to turn my brain off to a little bit, just because I played it enough. I'm not looping, but I'm doing better than I was when I was extremely drunk. Oh, we're getting a good payoff off of Bolt Marrow already. Yeah. I don't know how autopilot it really is, but it's fun. It's autopilot to me, and that's what matters. But yeah, nah, oh. What was it? Beyond the Garden Wall, I think is the, yeah. Or maybe, no, I think it's just Beyond the Wall? I don't remember. But that's a neat little OSR system that I saw on the TG threads. I've wanted to try it out, but I haven't gotten the chance to. That's probably the thing that I'll force my friends to play. But yeah, I do like the idea of splitting spells into. You've got cantrips. Yeah. One of the systems has to be good. Has to be. One of them's maybe even the best. But now, like, all the powerful spells are rituals. Like, those are the leveled spells, like level 1 to 9 rituals. And you've got spells which you can cast like 1 per your wizard level per day or whatever. Oh no. Yeah, GURPS is the best one for everything, right? Man. Now, I don't know. I think the rules looked light enough and also interesting enough that I might be able to convince my weirdo friends to do something other than 5e. Oh man, there's something that I don't like about 5e that's not 5th edition's fault. It's just like, oh, why would we play that when we know how to play 5th edition? It's not like a... It's no fault of anyone's. Wait, no, it's a fault of everyone other than the designers of 5th edition. I guess it's the fault of the marketers. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast needs to be stopped. Man, Bouncer Shotgun is very nice with trigger fingers. I remember this used to be the meta weapon in one update. Or for a few updates, I think. But yeah, 5th edition. Yeah, I need to try out 3.5 and all that happy stuff. Yeah. No, dude, just go to like a used bookstore. If it's a cool one, you'll have like a bunch of Pathfinder and 4th edition books lining the shelves. Man, I even saw some like old Judges Guild stuff. Like fucking... No, I don't think I saw Caverns of Thracia. Just old stuff. Shit. Yeah, what else did I have? I don't know if it was like on... I don't remember what book it was, but it's also some other old D&D stuff like Advanced Player's Guide. I don't know. Yeah, Plutonium Hunger is good enough. I need to replace the wrench. Fuck. Oh man, I wish I had more ammo. There we go. Oh no! Okay, okay. Yeah. Plus, 5th edition is still kind of expensive. Just being like, what, like $50 or $60 for the core rules? It's a bit more than I'd like. And then if you want to go all the way in, you got the DM guide, and you've got the monster manual. And the monster manual isn't that good. Honestly, yeah, just go on like 5e.tools, and then you'll get the entire monster manual in a better format. And then just like, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's a huge investment, and you need good house rules to make it good. It is the safe choice. It's the McDonald's of board games. Or, not even board games, just RPGs. Man. Man, back in the day, stuff used to be better. Nah. I wish. Yeah, Catan. Oh, yeah. Monopoly is the Burger King. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Man, Monopoly fucking sucks. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's played Monopoly and no one likes it, really. I guess maybe a few people do. It's... Monopoly is the 5th edition of board games. No. that's just a stupid statement. Ooh. Got him. But yeah, no. I wish there were more good board games. Oh man, I know a dude that made like a board game and then he got it he got it reviewed on some like some board game reviewer that he looked up to reviewed it and said like it kind of sucked and all that. And he was a little devastated. And this is it's just a kind of sad story. Yeah. Man. Yeah, there's a yeah. At least it's like sold at like fucking Walmart and stuff. So you know it's gotta be. Actually, I don't know if I have seen it in a Walmart. I hope so. Dude deserves it. You don't make like a board game and get nothing out of it. Man. I've heard lots of good things about Scythe, and I've only played it once. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not like that bad or anything. I've played the game before. It's not. It is kind of bland, I guess. It's an interesting thought to think about how much money went into it. He probably did make a good amount off of it. I don't think he went in the red. But yeah. Man. Speaking of Wizard of the Coast and board games starting to suck. Man, Magic the Gathering. That's something that sucks. Just with like standard bans happening, you know it's not a good time. Man. I wish good stuff stayed good. So oh, I barely dodged that. That was nice. Yeah, not even the card market. Just recent printings have been just busted. Like, I enjoy the card market. I may or may not have Underground Seas in my house. I won't tell anyone how many, but it's not enough to rob me. Oh wait, fucking one is. Never mind. Yeah. What are they up to? Yeah, the reserve list is kind of fucked up. Because Legacy, man. Legacy's such a good format. Man. I wish the card store that I used to go to still ran Legacy. Cause man, there's some funny decks. Like Doomsday. Now that's a good deck. I tried to make that work too much. The Spacer, you don't even know what you're saying. So many Magic the Gathering pros have moved on to professional poker. Like, more than you'd expect. Man. I need to find a list. But yeah, nah. It's money. It's the same basics, I guess, of reading your opponent. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, Magic the Gathering doesn't pay out as well as professional poker. Yeah, that'd be cool if it did. Man, I'd love to get Magic Online running and working and streaming. Just so I could just like stomp on dudes with like goblins or something. Man, goblins is such a good deck. That's my favorite deck in Legacy. Just man, dropping a ringleader and drawing 4 goblins is the best. Man. Just fucking crushing fools. Dropping gobs. So good. Man. Yeah, now they're just printing like weird bullshit. Yeah. Oh no. I'm not into poker, so that... Oh no. I am the man-child. It's not what I wanted to hear today, but it's true. Shit. But yeah, no. Oh, dude. I know a dude who bought, like, a ton of some shitty reserved list card. So yeah, there's like a list of cards that they made a while ago. Like, people were complaining about the $10 cards falling down to $1. So Wizards of the Coast was like, okay, we'll make a reserve list. We'll put some cards on a list, and we'll never reprint them again. Like, for every set. This was like a while ago, and it ended a while ago. But now there's just cards that they will never reprint again. So, the price on those can only go up. Like, all of the dual lands, which are an integral part of Legacy. It's something. So, basically, physical Legacy is never gonna be cheaper. Unless Magic the Gathering just gets destroyed. Yeah, you can absolutely proxy cards in in Magic. It just depends if the store allows proxies for the tournaments. For a while, they used to have, yeah, with Black Lotus and shit, for Vintage, which is like Legacy, but even more broken cards are legal. They used to allow 10, 15 proxies per deck, just because people don't want to buy, like, a fucking car's worth of cards just to play in a children's board game tournament. So yeah, you just proxy the Power 9 or whatever, and you have a good time. But not that long ago. Oh fuck. No, it was that long ago. Now they like Wizards of the Coast officially had to say, like, okay, you cannot use proxies at sanctioned events. Just because people were getting rather upset that people didn't have to pay for their cards. I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Now Vintage is only for rich people. Legacy is for, I don't know, upper middle class now. Standard is for no one. Man, okay. The best barometer of how much Wizards of the Coast actually cares. Vintage is, yeah, it's fun if you're like, if you proxy your whole deck. So yeah, Legacy is all cards, but there's a ban list of just like, just stuff. But Vintage is all cards. There's a ban list of stuff that's like physically broken, I guess. Like dexterity cards, like flip it onto the table, like really old stuff. Cards referring to ante, just some other stuff that's like, it's not like power level banned, but it's just like gameplay banned. And there's a list of reserved cards. Yeah, the silver bordered cards aren't even legal, like in anything. But yeah, Aaron, I don't know how bad Vintage is. I've never really played it, but I don't know. There's enough decks that go. Doomsday's better in Vintage, so I can always appreciate that. Doomsday's such a fucking dumb deck. It's great. But yeah, people say that like Legacy's a coin flip, and it's really not. If you're playing Belcher, then it's a coin flip, because it's just, does your opponent have a force of will to counter your Belcher? If so, you lose. If not, you win. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you can always play like Commander with your friends with a bunch of uncards. Yeah. I don't like what they did with the more recent unsets. Because the cards don't feel as funny. They just feel like, we couldn't put this mechanic in because it doesn't fit. Like anything that we can do in regular Magic rules, but I guess we'll make it on the card. Oh, man, I can't believe they put contraptions in silver bordered. That sucks. But yeah, nah, that. But yeah, like the old unsets, like the first two, were fucking crazy. Like stuff like Ashnod's Coupon, like sack it, your opponent has to buy you a drink. Stuff like that. Like that's the crazy stuff. That's what a real joke set should look like. But yeah. Cosmic Encounter. I'm blanking on that. Yeah, fucking Chaos Confetti. That's what it was. Yeah, the story on that. That's one of the cards that's banned in Vintage and stuff. A dexterity card. There's like a Orb of Chaos, Chaos Orb. One of those two. But what you did is you do whatever, and then you flip it onto the table, and it destroys all permanents that it touches. Like every card on the table that it touches, it destroys. So there's allegedly stories of people. Huh, that sounds interesting. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, there's allegedly stories of people in tournaments like tearing up the card just so that like the card touches a bunch of cards. Like you just like scatter it like confetti. And Chaos Confetti is an uncard that just does that. You just fucking rip it up, and any piece that hits something, yeah. There's some ridiculous stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I do like the idea of changing the rules. There's something like that I'm blanking on. I know there's crazy shit like we didn't playtest this game at all, which is just like a bunch of nonsense cards. I don't know how to describe it. There's some crazy game that someone mentioned somewhere of just like 1,000 blank white cards. Huh. I might be able to try that out someday. I wonder how easy it is to proxy those. Like just find a PDF of the cards and print it off. Put them in magic sleeves, call it a day. Alien board games. Okay, good. I have to use my brain. Huh. Yeah, there's some crazy card. Oh yeah, I guess Cards Against Humanity is the most infamous, just weird bullshit card game. Oh no, that's not really. Oh, dude, Munchkin. Now that's weird nonsense. I don't know if there's as many things that like altered rules, but Munchkin's crazy. Like, you know it's gotta be good if one of the rules is if you get away with cheating, then you're good. Like, I don't know the official rule. It might be something along the lines of like, as long as someone doesn't call you out on cheating before the game ends, you're good. I don't know. Because you gotta be a Munchkin, you gotta power game it. Yeah. I never got to play too much of it, but maybe next time I hang out with my friends, I'll have to crack it out. Man, is that Peter Jackson games or whatever? Nah, whatever. Yeah, the Steve Jackson. Yeah, hasn't he made like a ridiculous amount of board games? Wasn't there like, was it Fragged, or it's just like a first-person shooter, but like a board game? I've heard good things about pretty much everything that I've seen. Oh yeah, like the Illuminati board game, I think was that guy too, right? Yeah. Man, the Illuminati board game's is a trip. I don't know where that trip goes, but it's somewhere crazy nowadays. Oh yeah, the cards are like extremely expensive now. Sorcery. Hmm. But yeah, one board game that I've always liked that's I shouldn't like, I guess, is probably Talisman. Like, that's Monopoly, but like with RPG elements. Like that's like a 2-hour game minimum. Man, it's so fucked up with like all of the expansions. Huh. Yeah, I've never heard of Sorcery or most of those games on that list other than Illuminati. Should probably check those out someday. Board games are almost as good as video games. Man. I wonder how many viewers I could get just playing like Solitaire live on stream. That's technically a board game. I guess nah. Everything about that seems like a bad idea. Actually, there's Solitaire speedruns, right? I wonder if people stream that. That sounds like a good time. Felt like casino table felt t-shirt with a bicycle card pattern paper bag. Obviously. Or I could just look like Luigi from like the Nintendo Clubhouse games or whatever. Man, Homestuck had some good stuff. I mean, this is the worst part about having read as any amount of Homestuck, is that there's just so much bullshit that you can just... It's like The Simpsons. It's like the fucking Simpsons, where you just like, oh yeah, that's like just like Homestuck, right? Is that a Homestuck reference? It's like... It's like looking at like a smaller circle within an oval and saying like Among Us. Except hopefully not as bad. But yeah, no, just like, yeah, Doc Scratch is a really, really cool character design from Homestuck. But he's from Homestuck. Man. I wish I didn't have to think about Homestuck. But yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, Jack is... Yeah, honestly, Jack is the best villain, and then like... Yeah, because then like the whole stuff to like bring in Lord English was pretty neat, and like weird time loop bullshit. But then like, yeah, Lord English gets like you basically get to watch young Sheldon with Lord English, except he's like a fucking nerd. It's like taking like an eldritch like horror enemy, like weird like final boss like crazy monster, and then just turn him to like just a fucking nerd. Like not even like a cool nerd, just like a loser. I don't listen. Homestuck's cool, but Homestuck sucks. But yeah, no, I skipped over it a little bit. But Talisman's a really good, I don't know if it's really good, but it's a board game that I put too many hours in because it's what was there. But man, that's crazy. Just like, like 6-hour games. Man. But yeah, nah, dude. Homestuck needs, oh fuck, yeah, no, there is Homestuck too. And I haven't heard good things about it. Like, I guess it's like a weird official, yeah. I mean, it's probably worth trying out, but it's not the greatest board game ever. It is very old and janky. Like, some characters are just extremely busted. Especially after, like, adding more sets, I guess. More expansions. Some of them just get really, really nasty. Like, there's characters that always have spells in hand. Like the wizard, I think. But no, just like... It's a huge advantage. It's like being a... It's like a fucking... It's like the difference between marshals and casters. It's just like having an entire, like, interactivity, like, button. It's only available to some characters. You can get spells if you don't like have infinite spells. But if you do have infinite spells, you're like, you'll do a lot better than if you didn't. Oh no. But yeah, no, that's a... Man, I started painting some of the figures from that. Oh man. Here's a weird story about it. Like, the rights for Talisman was owned by Fantasy Flight Games, I believe. And they had a deal going on with Games Workshop. But that contract ended. So then there was like... No one owned the IP for it. Or I guess... It was some weird like situation where like Fantasy Flight Games owned the right to print it, and Games Workshop owned the right to own it. So for a while there was just, you could not buy physical Talisman. Okay, that was close. But yeah, it wasn't until like a year ago, maybe less, when like someone else finally got the rights to print the expansions and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, if you ever think about trying it, oh, I just probably don't. Just like look up gameplay. Oh yeah, there's a computer like port of it, which has expansions that like are exclusive to it, which is really weird to think about. I don't know. I guess it does stuff that you can't do as easily on a board game. But even then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you definitely want to look up which expansions are good and not, because some of them are just like really annoying. Some of them just add a lot of like, just a lot of time. Man. I wonder how good at other things I'd be if I never played like those 10 games of Talisman. Cause that's a lot of time. But yeah, I need to paint figures. Like anyone that owns any plastic, I've got figures that need to be painted. That probably won't be. I've even drank paint water on accident once. Listen, you have not painted enough miniatures until you've accidentally taken a sip of paint water. It's a very good story, because, like, I had almost drank in paint water once. I had the cup up to my lips, and I was tilting it back, and I was like, wait, I don't have a water cup out here. And then I put it down with, like, it was like sweating bullets, like, this was almost the day. And then, like, a week later, I accidentally took a sip out of the paint water. It's like, ah, fuck. Anyways, that's my origin story. I took a sip out of paint water, and now here I am. I think most of the paint was non-toxic. No, it was Vallejo. I think... Listen, some maniacs love, like, licking the brush to get it, like, fine. So, there's plenty of people that have asked if it is toxic or not. From what I saw, I'm still alive. I may be as smart as I once was. Maybe less, maybe less. But, apparently it's okay. Oh, man. Yeah, I have. I've heard about that. Like, yeah, they just, like, fucking glowed. That's, like, that's not fun. Dude. Here's an interesting subject. Fucking, like, radioactive accidents, I guess. Like, there was, it's usually, like, people just, like, disposing of, like, medical stuff improperly. But there's, like, a story of, like, some dudes in Mexico, like, stole some, like, CRT, or not CRT, like, some crazy big x-ray kind of stuff. And the police had to say, like, hey, if you stole this, you might fucking die. Just leave it somewhere. And I guess they did. They found it in, like, an unmarked van, just, like, empty, like, out of the shielding, just, like, sitting in the van. And apparently the guys that stole it were definitely exposed to, like, crazy lethal amounts. Oh man, an even better one. There was apparently some, like, Russian lumberjacks, like, found some old radioactive whatevers, and they used them as, like, personal heaters because they were warm. And that's, yeah, that's not a good level of radiation. If you can use it as a personal heater, I don't think those guys are okay. It's something. Yeah. Yeah, the RTGs. Yeah, there's stuff. Oh yeah, just stuff like Cobalt 60. Yeah. Huh. Was that, like, on the news and stuff? That sounds like it'd be like... It's probably not a very fun story. Wow. Oh shit. I got. Huh. It's weird. It's just like crazy. Man, that would suck. Oh, I thought I unlocked the bee skin. Yeah, I'll place my eyes. But yeah, no, like... Oh, yeah, there's some stories of just, like... I guess, like, scrap recyclers just accidentally doing some stuff. Yeah! Are they made with metal, radioactive rods in Mexico? Or is that just, like... That would fucking suck. Cause, like, yeah, Man, I don't remember what countries were listed on like Wikipedia, but there was like several stories of like, yeah, like scrap recyclers or whatever, just like putting in radioactive stuff in with the pile, and then like there's just a lot of radioactive stuff out there now. Don't get got. Oh yeah, last stream I talked about that like Thought Emporium guy who does like that crazy mad science, like building stuff that you probably shouldn't build at home. Like the cloud chamber, he put in some of the like negative ion, quote unquote, like weird bogus health stuff, like into a cloud chamber, and it was all like fucking radioactive. Like these this weird like health you know, like those magnet bracelets, like back when those were big. Basically that, but instead of being magnets, they're just radioactive. Like not enough to be very, very bad, like for a day, but if you wear that stuff like every day, you're not gonna have a good time. Like, yeah, they've got like bed sheets and shirts and stuff with like negative ion infused or whatever, and it's just basically poison. Yeah. I don't remember, but the guy actually went through the trouble of finding out exactly what material it was, just by like putting it in funny machines. But yeah, I don't remember what radioactive material it was, but it was radioactive. Like some of the stuff was just fake, just nonsense, but way too much. 'Cause, man, that's the kind of stuff you don't like to hear about. But yeah, anyways, I'm collecting little radiation pellets to level up, just like in real life. Yeah, only been an hour and a half, and I've been talking about a lot of nonsense. Oh, nice. No, not nice. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can hear this too well, but if you press the B button on the keyboard, you do an air horn noise as YV. It's very, very good. That's all. But yeah, anyways, I really need to indoctrinate my friends. First of all, into watching VTubers. Second of all, into playing like D&D basic. Like maybe Pathfinder would actually be a little bit more possible. So I know I've heard that the modules and stuff are actually pretty good. The adventure paths, just for running as like a DM, like you can just like throw that shit on. It requires some brain power, because obviously the DM is the computer, like the processor, but it sounds like it would help a lot for making me do zero prep work. Honestly, that's one of the good things about 5e is how well you can, like, if you're a player, you can pretty much play the game instead of the DM. Just as, oh no. Like, yeah. If you're a very lazy dungeon master, you can just do whatever. But yeah, that's why you gotta prep smart or whatever. There's like a billion articles of like people smarter than me telling you how to use your time. And yeah, honestly, if I just managed to draw like a small dungeon a night or like fill out a hex, then let's see. Fuck, that would take too long to do anything. Yeah, now what you do is you go online and you look up like one-page dungeon, print out a bunch of those and call it a day. Whoa, nice. But yeah, now as long as you're like good enough on your feet, you can just draw like some very simple plans of what's where, and as long as your players don't look too hard behind the curtain, you can do something good enough sometimes. But yeah, probably not something serious, but like an adventure. That's pretty much what I did. Oh man, I've got a really good story about back in high school. For the last period of the day, I had a project due, and I had one of my classes in the computer room. So basically what I did was I did my entire project throughout the school day and printed it out during whatever computer class and fucking like just like stapled it together and like handed it in. Like I started at like first period and I finished the project by 6th period. And that's honestly like one of my greatest achievements of all time. Like, I don't know how much achievement score that's worth, but it's probably pretty well up there. Stresses YV might be good, just for extra fire rate. Yeah. I haven't done enough prep to hate it yet. Although maybe not doing prep is the hating it. That's something to think about. Yeah, maybe I can loop this run. There we go. Yeah, no. Yeah, Pathfinder looks very complicated compared to like 5th edition. Like man, one of the things I hate about 5th edition is how much you have to write down for like your character sheet and stuff. It's not that bad, but like for how little you need some of this stuff, I don't know, it just feels kind of pedantic or nitpicking, whatever the proper term is. But I just don't like making characters in 5th edition. Maybe it's because I min-max them. Yeah, as long as you've got like a solid enough sense of everything, making up enemies on the fly is perfectly valid. Yeah, it doesn't matter exactly what the numbers are, as long as you're not fudging numbers. Spacer, you don't fudge numbers, right? this is an interview, an interrogation. Never fudge numbers. It's the worst thing you can do. If a player notices, they'll never trust you again. Yeah, fair enough. Honestly though, like, this isn't a 5th edition complaint. Oh yeah. Fair enough. But no, like, not with 5th edition, but just with, like, I guess RPGs in general, is like just having stuff that you have to roll for infinitely, or that you could, just like an easy mistake to make if you're not thinking about it. Which fuck, I need to tell my DM not to do this. But like, imagine you've got a door and like, okay, I wanna kick down the door. It's like, okay, roll your check. It's like, okay, I failed. Alright, can I still kick it down? Yeah. Okay, I'll roll the check again. Like, okay. And it just doesn't matter. It's just like the same stuff in the end. Listen, one of my friends is a maniac. Like, if he sees the chance to, he'll ask the DM about like the architecture of the buildings, and just like try to like take out the screws to like knock the buildings down. I don't know. He's that kind of D&D player. Yeah, he would agree. I'll have to call him a based, detailed Chad to his face next time I see him. I'm sure he'd love that. But yeah, no. It's and yeah, that's why you gotta play. That's why you play D&D instead of just like a video game. Is because you want to go like collapsing the mine shafts and all that. Like, Dwarf Fortress has extensive rules, but you can't go all the way to like whatever crazy stuff you're trying for. Yeah, just like the classic grain silo, like explosion kind of stuff. Yeah. It's also the worst if you're if you're a little drunk. But yeah, nah. If you get like a really good, like, cohesive group, man. Yeah, now I just want to play D&D. I just got back from D&D and now I want to play more D&D. Man. Yeah, honestly, it'd be so nice just to have, like, just everyone other than the DM doing all the math, and then just being the DM and just sitting back and just being like, oh yeah, did you beat a 17? Okay. There's some dogs in front of you. It's like, okay, yeah, I know what dogs are in the monster manual. Like, alright. Okay. I don't know how to describe that little scenario that I had in my brain, but it would be nice to be able to DM without doing any work. Man. Yeah, too much Magic the Gathering has taught me how to rules lawyer. I don't know if I don't like it. Man. Honestly, okay, man, I really want to play Magic on stream. I don't know if I'll get, like, if just having my, like, Magic Online username will get me destroyed by anyone. I don't think it can. There's a, oh, man, there's a good story of some Magic Pro like streaming Magic Online, and he just accidentally put in his password on the username field, like on stream. Like that was a funny story. That's all that story is. But oh yeah, Energy Sword is very nice, and I've got long arms. This is a good run. Oh, I know someone that got DQ'd from a Pro Tour. Like, the dude, like, he cheated. He got caught. Like, he played a card that, like, basically, he put a card that he wasn't allowed to back into his deck to draw a card for an effect, and the judge like called him out on it, and he got. I don't know if it was like live on stream or something, but that would be crazy if it was. Man. But yeah, no, that dude was an asshole. Like, he'd constantly try to cheat in casual games. I'm glad he got. He might have just gotten a game loss. I don't know if it was like a whole DQ. But no, dude deserved it. I should have took Bolt Marrow. Yeah, Magic is fun. Yeah, that's correct. Whoa. Almost got me. Yeah. It's weird to think about how long I've been playing. It still feels like I'm like new to it. Honestly, it's scary like being on the internet and seeing like accounts that I follow and stuff. Oh yeah, just try like Cockatrice or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if you get like banned from Steam if you did Board Game Simulator. I haven't heard of Untap. Huh. I need to look that one up. Man, there's the site that I used to print proxies from, like, got discontinued a while ago. Like mtgpress.net just like stopped updating. Just silently. So I was like older. I wonder if you could like get a game going on like Tabletop Simulator. Oh, it's a website? Huh. How does that work? Like, can you do online play with that very well? Or is it like a little janky? Yeah, I just want to crush fools in Legacy so bad. Show off my sick goblin skills. Listen. Before I figured out how to print. Okay. Huh. Damn, I need to try that out. See how well that works. But now before I figured out how to just print the cards, I would like take notebook paper and like fold it up into squares and put that like in front of the cards in penny sleeves. And I just write down the card name. Eventually, like, I'd just like do it during class. No, it got to the point where like I would just reuse the little pieces of paper, like a bunch. So I just have like it would just be like a mess of words, just like different card names just facing different directions. I hope I threw all those away. I don't want to look at those now. But yeah, it's like the absolute worst thing you could do for proxies. Like if they were all clean pieces of notebook paper, that would have been fine. But they're like written on both sides and like upside down as well. It was messy. Yeah. Man, I wish I was playing competitively when Merfolk was still a deck. I never got any Cheeto dust in them. Why would I have Cheetos in class? That's crazy. No Cheeto dust. I do have an old deck that I just had like in my pocket that got like just fucking dropped on the ground, like in the rain. I don't think any of the cards were too important. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that. Fuck, I'm playing Melting. But yeah, no Cheeto dust for me. I'm not that kind of gamer. That's too far. Like Cheeto dust is a different flavor of messy. I'm talking like eclectic. I guess that works. But yeah, no, it's fun. Oh man, there's really good stories of people just like, yeah, I thought the art on this card, this Black Lotus card, was pretty cool, so I just like cut out the art of that and just like put it in my notebook. Just like back when Alpha released. And those people are probably like still feeling bad about that. Like that's something. That's something that you don't forget. And just imagine accidentally like it's like GameStop stock levels of stuff. Except I mean I guess that yeah. That's 90s GameStop stop. Yeah, anyone that's done that and heard the price of Black Lotus now is probably like a little bit more of a hoarder than they were before. Like I really hope these newspaper clippings don't become $1,000 in like 10 years. Cause I'm not gonna throw them away. Yeah. And honestly, I should sell out of my cards eventually. Oh, yeah, everything that's not on the reserve list is fair game for selling, pretty much. Is everything on the reserve list is just gonna keep going up. Like, people aren't really investing in formats anymore, they're just investing in these like crazy stocks of just cards that are never gonna get reprinted. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of people now just willingly buying Chinese proxies, like fake cards, just because they're cheap. Like they don't care that they're fake. Just because like, yeah, fuck it. No one really cares that much. They care more about playing their video game than paying their video game and all that. Hopefully I get trigger fingers. Yeah, no. Watching Legacy evolve, like as I played it, was very fun. Just stuff like Deathray Shaman and Sensei's Divining Top getting banned. Oh, that's a good story. Fucking so Sensei's Divining Top was a card that allowed some top tier like deck archetype, and there people were like wanting it banned for a long time. It's well, not like it wasn't like absolutely broken, but it was being discussed for like a while, and then at one point there's an infamous sign, like someone just put like a street sign, like a construction sign looking thing of just like ban Sensei's Divining Top. And like I guess people got that on t-shirts just because it was funny. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Miracles bracket was a thing. Just because so many rounds of tournaments just went to time. So yeah, you've got like a 50-minute limit per game, and so many games went to time. Man. Yeah. Goblins was very good against Miracles. That was always nice. Man, Goblins is such a good deck. It's even better now than it was, and I haven't gotten to play it since it's gotten good. Man. Goblin Ringleader is so good. Just being able to draw 4 cards. So much. Oh man. Alright. This should be easy since I have a sledgehammer. Nice. Got the reflect. But yeah, nah. Man, Sensei's Divining Top was also a very, very key card in Doomsday, which wasn't a good deck at the time, and it became an even worse deck afterwards. Man, Doomsday's so stupid, but it's so good. Like, apparently it is good now, because of Thassa's Oracle, just allowing for a cheaper win con. Cheaper, better, faster, stronger. All that. Oh man. Yeah, it's been almost 2 hours. I'm running out of legacy discussion. I think I'll end the stream. Let me see who's on. Alright. I'll give you guys, I'll take you guys back to the computer show. Alright. Have a good one, everyone. And, stay safe and play lots of card games. Yeah, thanks, Spacer. Alright. Good night. Oh, wait. Here we go. Here's the button. Oh yeah, it shows up over there. Alright, make sure to learn lots about computers. There'll be a test tomorrow.